At the public consultation meetings on recycling in Saskatoon, there's been a great outpouring of support for adults with intellectual disabilities from cosmopolitan industries and their continued involvement in recycling in the city. There's also a lot of support for setting up garbage collection as a utility and having everyone pay for the garbage that they produce instead of having it show up on property taxes. There's an enlightened way to introduce this change, and there's a way which will penalize citizens as more and more material is diverted from the landfill. This primer will illustrate the difference. Almost all cities pay for garbage collection through property taxes. However, there's another concept called pay-as-you-throw, where garbage is paid as a user fee. It's set up as a utility. This removes garbage collection as a service on your property taxes. There's less than a dozen municipalities that have taken this route, but before you can implement it, you have to get your waste diversion programs in place, those for organic wastes, recycling of high-value materials, and especially for the recycling of low-value materials. A basic economic truth of recycling as compared to garbage is that recycling is more expensive overall, at least in Canada and especially on the prairies, than throwing the material in a landfill. To encourage waste diversion, municipalities promote a relationship between garbage and recycling. By making it more expensive to throw away material than to recycle material, they encourage a change in behavior in their residents. Of course, new programs come with cost estimates that are always prudently done so that citizens will not be surprised and shocked by large increases in the cost of the program after it's too late to turn back. Let's look at the Edmonton situation for their garbage utility rates from their own data from their website at the City of Edmonton. 2006, we have $13.05 per month for a single family dwelling. By 2010, we have a 100% increase, a doubling, over double, $29.85 a month for the same service. Although Edmonton does have a garbage utility, they don't really have a pay-as-you-throw system, as all single-family households pay the same fee. What is being suggested in Saskatoon by many people at the consultations is that the more garbage you put out, the more it should cost you. It's certainly a reasonable proposition that this pay-as-you-throw system will encourage people to change behavior. Let's take a look at how this will work. On the left-hand side, we have Miss Responsible, who's a great recycler and winds up with only one bag of garbage. On the right-hand side, we have Mr. Garbage Guts there, throws everything in the garbage, and in this system, he has to pay for it. However, over time, Mr. Garbage Guts is learning. He's reducing the amount of garbage that he's producing by using waste diversion programs. However, the more successful that large producers of garbage are at reducing the amount of garbage they create and throw away, the higher the price goes for the garbage that they are throwing away. It's not just the formerly wasteful citizens that are paying more. The responsible recycler is winding up being dinged for higher costs, higher prices on that person's garbage. The reason for this goes back to the waste diversion programs. If they've got high fixed costs and high operating costs that have to be maintained, the cost of supporting the garbage and recycling systems never goes down, even though the amount of garbage being produced can go down dramatically. That is the penalty for success. And this isn't just mathematical theory. There are real-world examples where this is happening today. As recently reported by the Vancouver Sun, as the pile of garbage declines, Surrey Councilman Marvin Hunt said, "The cost of garbage and recycling services goes up because the region still has fixed costs to maintain. So does this mean that a garbage utility is a bad idea? Well, not at all. It's actually a very good logical idea to get people to reduce the amount of garbage they generate and encourage them by giving them an incentive to recycle. The problem is you don't want to get caught in the same trap that Edmonton residents are caught in with ever higher user fees. The mandatory curbside recycling system in Edmonton is responsible for the incredible increase in the utility rates for garbage faced by the citizens in that city. High-cost systems must be paid for, and the estimates are not always close. In just a few years in Edmonton, there's been a doubling of rates. The way to avoid massive increases in user fees is to support an effective low-cost recycling option right at the beginning. Don't get involved in high fixed costs. A combination of option 3, expand the depot system, and option 2, subsidized private curbside for those people who want it or need that level of service, avoids the tax traps that the people in Edmonton are now facing. Don't set yourself up to be penalized for success. Call your counselor today. The recycling and garbage collection systems in Saskatoon should reward citizens for success, not penalize them. Option 3 and option 2 in combination does this. It's a low-cost combination, it's incredibly effective, and it's voluntary. Call your counselor and let that person know of your support.